All right. Let's dive into something pretty exciting today, the world of studying abroad. I bet you're already at least a little interested in that,
It's
right?
definitely a hot topic.
Yeah, but I get it. There's a lot to figure out. Even if you're like totally ready to pack your bags, all the terms, the whole process, it could be pretty overwhelming.
Absolutely. It's a big decision.
Yeah. But hey, that's what we're here for, right? Today, we're going to break it all down.
Sounds good.
We've got this super helpful resource, Education and Study Abroad. Key phrases. Tons of good stuff in there.
A great starting point.
Okay, so instead of just like reading definitions, let's get real, okay?
Okay.
With all these options out there, how do you even know if studying abroad is the right move for you, personally?
Well, the interesting thing is there's not just one answer, you know? It really depends on what you want to get out of it, your goals.
Makes sense. It's not just a vacation, right?
Hmm.
I mean, it could seriously change your whole academic past, even your career. We always hear about how a degree can help you get a job. But honestly, is that still true, even with a degree from another country?
You know, sometimes it's even more of a boost. Think about it. Having a degree from a foreign university shows you can adapt. Maybe you've learned a new language, you've got a global perspective.
Yeah.
That's huge for employers these days.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But does it matter what kind of degree you get? Like, is this mostly about bachelor's degrees, or are we talking master's, PhDs, the whole shebang?
All of the above. A lot of students do go abroad for their bachelor's, but there are awesome postgraduate programs too. Some countries are even famous for certain things. Germany's known for engineering schools, for instance, or the UK for their business master's programs.
Okay, so you really have to do your research, figure out what works for you. But what about the elephant in the room? The money. Tuition fees, living expenses, all that. Doesn't sound cheap.
Very true. It's a big investment, but that's where those scholarship opportunities we saw can be a game changer.
Wait, so there's hope for us broke college students.
Of course. There are actually tons of scholarships out there, and they're not all the same. Some are for specific fields, for students from certain backgrounds, even some just for people from certain countries. And sometimes they cover, like, everything, even your living expenses on top of tuition.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know. So let's say you've got the money figured out. What about actually applying to universities in other countries? How does that even work?
Well, that's where the admission requirements come in. And fair warning, they're not the same everywhere. Some countries care a lot about standardized tests, others want to see your grades. Some really focus on personal essays. It depends.
And I'm guessing good grades aren't enough to just like show up and start studying in another country, right?
Mhm.
Something about study visas, right?
Exactly. A study visa is basically permission from the country to, well, study there. You have to apply for it. It might seem kind of scary, but most universities walk you through it. Just don't wait until the last minute.
Good point. Speaking of not procrastinating, what about figuring out where you're going to live?
Right. Student accommodation, that's something you want to start thinking about early. Dorms, private apartments, all kinds of options. Each one has its good and bad sides.
So many decisions. It's kind of a lot. Is there anyone like at the university who can help students sort through all this?
Definitely. That's where the academic advisor comes in. They're like your go-to person. They can help you choose classes, figure out how the university works, even just adjust to a totally new academic system.
Oh, that's reassuring. But what if someone isn't ready to, move across the world just yet?
Online courses can be a great way to test it out, see what it's like. You get that flexibility, and you can even like try out a subject or university before committing to a whole program abroad.
Wow, it's cool how much studying abroad has changed. Thinking about everything we've talked about, it's more than just hitting the books in a different place, right?
Yeah.
There's this whole campus life, cultural exchange thing going on too.
Exactly. It's a chance to grow as a person. You're immersing yourself in a new culture, you're seeing things from a different perspective, connecting with people who are completely different from you.
It's like stepping outside your comfort zone, but in a good way. So as we wrap up, what's your best piece of advice for our listener who's obviously ready for this adventure?
Don't let all the details freak you out, Start by thinking about what really excites you. If you could study anywhere, where would you go? Why? That's the kind of passion that'll keep you going.
Love it. So dream big, do your research, and who knows, maybe you'll be sharing your own study abroad story someday. In the meantime, stay curious. Keep exploring.
Absolutely. There's a whole world out there.